Can you start off by confirming for us whether the cause of the accident has been established?
Well, it was a massive blunder, a huge error. That was very fatal. I mean, it resulted in the death of 4 people. It's someone who entered in a no-entry point on the N2 near Port Elizabeth. That is where the N2 and the N10 split. And it's someone who has traveled that road quite frequently. I know what happened there. It can be a bit confusing at times, and it's probably something that will need to be looked at in future in terms of how maybe that road is structured. I remember very well that myself some years back, I almost made the very same mistake, and that was made by the driver of the Peugeot, which unfortunately claimed the entire, all the people who were in the vehicle with him. So it was a head-on collision. A bus was traveling from Port Elizabeth towards Grahamstown, and the sedan was traveling from Grahamstown towards Port Elizabeth when the head-on collision happened. And it claimed the lives of 4 people whom we suspect are related in one way or the other. They are between the ages of 35 and 10 years. It was a driver, a male who was 35, 2 females, both 30 years, and of course a boy of age 10.
All those who passed away were travelling in the light motor vehicle, is that correct?
Excuse me?
All those who passed away, were they travelling together in that light motor vehicle?
Yes, they were in the sedan, and thankfully from the bus there were no fatalities. And we understand in an accident like that, and with a bus that was fully loaded, we are fully aware that it could have been even more, it could have been worse than it already is. So we are thankful for the lives of those who were in the bus, and of course the MEC conveys a message of condolence to those who lost their loved ones in that accident. And of course we are wishing those who are recovering in hospital a full and a speedy recovery.
As we see traffic volumes increase as many holidaymakers return from their destinations as work and schools start up again, we see a lot of people also travelling at night. And what is your message to those people making use of our national roads in the early hours of the morning or throughout the day in terms of safety?
Without a doubt, the volume of traffic has increased quite significantly on our roads in the province. And of course, we expect it no less as people are heading back to work and school beginning of next week. And so our traffic officers are on their feet to ensure that the rule of law is upheld. But of course, we'd like to call upon the drivers and all the road users, including passengers as well, to be extra vigilant at this time, as more accidents are likely to happen. If we cannot be vigilant. But of course, we are disappointed. This is not how we anticipated to begin what we expect to be a very, very busy weekend. So we'll call on our road users to be very cautious at this time and try to reduce speed because it's one of the major contributing factors to the accidents that we've experienced in the province. If you are keeping within the speed limits and even reducing it even below what is required, you are able to react on time to avoid situations that have led to many of the crashes that we have experienced on our roads. And as I'm speaking to you now, people continue to perish on our roads. There's just been a report of an accident that has happened near Aberdeen that has claimed 2 lives already this morning. And it's very, very worrying for us. We understand that as much as the police officers and the traffic officers can do the work, but would love to call on the road users, passengers and drivers alike, to also take charge of their lives and their safety on our roads.
Thank you very much. That was Eastern Cape Transport Department spokesperson Unathi Bingose.